Hello, I don't think I'm too late. All right, let me not have that, there we go. Okay, let me see if I can get into live chat. So, my daughter is a Taylor Swift fan, not like a crazy, well, I don't know, it does, going to see Taylor Swift in Vienna make you a crazy fan? I don't know. I just don't, she's not one of the, what do they call the Swifties or something? I don't think so. I mean, she doesn't ever go on and on. But I thought the funny thing was, we just were talking about this and realized, well, my daughter called me and she said, Mom, you have to see, she had sent me this email from Taylor Swift's dad to her former manager back when she was 16. And it's a 5-page email. And there's a lot of craziness, unhinged stuff in this email that's come out. And it's come out because there's a lawsuit, okay? So I'll tell you all about that. But we were realizing, when did we see Taylor Swift? And we saw Taylor Swift really early on. And it was right after I gave birth to Ethan. He was not even 3 months old. We went to the concert venue up by us, which is the original Woodstock site. And Taylor Swift and Kelly Pickler were opening for Brad Paisley at the time. Taylor Swift was a nobody. And the only thing I remember is she came on the stage and she said, oh, do you ever write songs about, people that you don't like or something, or now you're in my song, something to that effect. And, she didn't really knock anybody's socks off or anything. I think Kelly Pickler was probably more known and I don't know, but so it's funny that my daughter was there too and we saw her, but now my daughter's flying to now Vienna, and Taylor Swift is huge, right? So, but this email from her dad, Scott, mentions a lot of things about what he did to launch her career and what goes on and how orchestrated it is behind the scenes. So I think you'll find that interesting. Also, he says a lot of things about her mother, Andrea, and just things he says that might make you cringe. Okay, so we're gonna read it, and I'm gonna, let me see here. I want to do this. How about I do this? I'm going to put. Let's see. That up, and I'm gonna pull up his email. Hi Slam RN, hi Kevin, hi Nate, Debbie D, Margot, everybody here. Let's see. Let me pull this over here. Okay, so let's see. Okay. So this is, again, an email from Scott Swift to Dan, who was, and that's Dan Dimitrow, Dymtrow. And it's from May 5th of 2005, and it's really funny because something else tonight was from May 5th.
Cinco de Mayo.
That has no. The other thing has nothing to do with Cinco de Mayo. Okay.
Well, it does. If it's on May 5th, it has something.
But no, but it really doesn't. Okay.
It does.
Okay, so it says, Dan, bear with me. I need to vent. Have actually entered this into the Ripley's Longest Email Contest. got your email and not sure how to respond. I can respond as a friend. I can respond as a brother, as a dad, or as Taylor's dad. I know one thing. No one is going to aid you and Taylor in becoming successful more than I will. I'm your banker. Nothing drives that home more than your experience with Soul, S-O-L. And I am your and Taylor's biggest fan. I will sell a shitload of t-shirts. My goal in this email is for you to have a better perspective of how much I do, how much I have bankrolled you to, and how much I have to deal with on the home front. I am one of Taylor's custodians, and he puts, and I will, I think I while, and that he's got the major typo there. While you spend more time with Andrea, I want you to understand why I should be kept up to date with what is going on. We are getting to a very important time in Taylor's career. I sent a very positive email to you, and you bared your soul to me, so I will let you in on what my world is all about. Save this email. Someday you will be a dad and you will appreciate it. Doesn't matter how much you have accomplished in your life. When you come home, you are a dad and a husband, and even Disney trashes dads. Don't laugh. You're going to be in the dad's union, and no matter how well you do with Britt or Tay, you are a dad, and your wife and kids will put you in your place. The good news is that your kids are all that matters. The rest is all crap. So you put up with it. Brittany's kids won't care how great her career was. It's life. I am currently on email restriction from Andrea because I forwarded the Today Show jab that Chuck sent to me. I am not allowed to send Dan an email unless Andrea approves it first. Can you even comprehend that? Welcome to my world. Send it to her or mention it to Taylor, and there will probably be a quick divorce. Now I am glad I sent you that email. I sent that email to you. I can give you a better idea of what your banker's life is like. Thank God, over the years, I do not pay attention to Andrea's rules. I'll explain later. Don't laugh. You'll be there. In the future, if you wonder about an email I send you, please call me. Don't involve Taylor or Andrea. Just call me. Andrea thinks I talk to you every day and bother you every day. I don't. But I do something positive for Taylor and you every day. I am not quite the idiot that Andrea portrays me to be. Keep in mind that I manage 270 million, but more importantly, 249 relationships with families at Merrill in a terrible market. My clients average 17.4% in a market when the rest of the complex average 3 to 8%. I am in the top 1% of all brokers at the most prestigious investment firm in the world. I manage a staff. I manage my clients' lives, their money. I have moved my family to Nashville. I have cleaned out 2 houses, sold 1, handle all the mail, make all the address changes, changed all the registrations on the cars, boats, etc. Jockeyed between Reading and Nashville. Found out I had cancer with Good Morning America in my living room. Had my prostate sucked out of my body by a robot on January 4th. Was in diapers for 7 weeks and can't get a hard-on. Everyone is running at full speed. We all have our axe to grind. I actually have one less axe to grind. One of the reasons I do so well with my clients is that I do plan. I do look at different scenarios. I always have a better plan than their attorney or accountant because I do talk and ask questions, and that drives my wife crazy and pays all the bills. Welcome to my world. Don't laugh, dude. You're going to be there. On top of that, you and Andrea have no idea how much time
I have quietly and sometimes not so quietly stayed on top of Taylor's career while I'm trying to balance all the other stuff. My clients do not want to hear how much stress I am under or what I have done for another client or how much. That was just page 1 so far, okay? Or how much time I have spent copying videotapes and sending them out when Taylor was 11. It's a cruel world, but we have great lives and we move on. They want to know how their account is doing. Don't laugh because you're going to be a dad, and your kids are not going to care that you launched the biggest perfume launch. They're going to want their bike fixed, a new paintball gun. On the other hand, Brittany and Taylor are not going to care that your kids kept you up all night. I am going to do anything that I think is appropriate to do to advance Taylor's career. Your involvement with Soul does not help me. If you feel bad, good. When I screw up, I feel bad. I learn from it, but I never forget it. When you told me you invested and lost money, I felt bad, but never could understand why you would put any money in that direction. Now you tell me that you got your uncle involved? Good night. You going to bed?
Yeah, good night, I love you.
Good night, I love you.
Good night, I love you, Dad.
Okay. I could glad hand you like the rest of the world and tell you that's okay, Dan, but I won't. The guy had just fired his band. He probably has a tattoo of his old girlfriend on his D. He is a very wealthy father-in-law. He has a very wealthy father-in-law, and while I only spent a weekend with him, he was all over the board with goals. Is he a great guy? Yeah, but he really needs help writing. But he needed you more than you needed him, and he should never have paid up for your services. Otherwise, it is too easy to walk. I would write Soul on a piece of paper. Pay your uncle's family back the same way I will pay you back. If DC does not work out, crumple the paper and move on. Everyone is back to where they should be. You brought the issue up. Taylor is worth your efforts. You hopefully will become very wealthy with Taylor. When you first told me about Soul, my thought was that was taking time away from Taylor, and it did. You worried about it. It bothered you, but I'm not going to glad hand you and give you an A for your great decision making. You get an A for Taylor. She is the best and will never disappoint you. Taylor will define your life's work. Luis of Soul never cared enough about himself. When someone has tattoos all over their body, there may be issues. Are you to deserve your great management? Dan, you are the best. Do not take anything less. Just remember, when you were funding Soul, you were sending me bills from Larry's mother for $118 in Federal Express bills. Go figure. Some things just make you go, ah. This went over like a pregnant pole vaulter, but I bit my tongue. Andrea told me I was an idiot for bringing it up to her, so I shut up. I do not want to be Taylor's manager. We have the best one, but let me vent. How did we get Dan Dimitrov? Taylor's theater group, which has never been invited to sing at the Municipal Stadium in Reading for the Reading Phillies, was asked to come out on Oldies Day. Who on the board of directors suggested Oldies Day? I did. Who then offered up the cast of Grease? I did. Who had promoted his 11-year-old at every board meeting to the point that when the guy who was supposed to sing the national anthem did not show, they came to Taylor and said, "Can you sing the national anthem?" I did, which led to the Harlem Wizards national anthem because the person in charge of it was in the stands. Who videotaped it? I did. Who then made copies and used old contacts to send it to the 76ers while being told he was silly? I did. who bought tickets for all of Taylor's friends to go support her when she sang in front of 23,000 fans? I did. Who got to sit in the car with her friends while Andrea and Taylor were getting first-class treatment in the dressing room? I did. You will. That's not quite fair. Whose wife thinks I talk too much and promote Taylor too much? Mine. Share my pain, please. Who has made every single client listen to Taylor's latest song before we went over their financial plan? Nobles Grove, Bloomsburg Fair, Boy Scout dinners, chamber dinners took heat for all of it, but it was part of the process. I kibitz. Not allowed to say kibitz anymore, therefore I am. Who then sent the 76ers tape to his attorney, all the time being goofed on? Who was the president of the USTA? At that point, if Andrea was in charge, we would have talked to Kelly, gone to the US Open, and left. Who sends tapes, CDs, songs, pictures, etc., and gets to know Kelly so that she feels comfortable enough to make the introduction to you? Who pays for absolutely everything? Who is the guy that gets goofed on for talking too much? Dad. Who filmed it all? Dad. Who gets to go to New York, New England, and every cool experience? Not Dad. Can't fix hair. Dad talks too much. Who pays for trips to New York? Dad. Who makes sure and takes days off to make sure that whether it was Radio Disney, Brits Camp, or any other event that we had stuff to give away? CDs, frisbees, headshots. Who, that's just the end of page 2, even thought to put that stuff together? Who blew up 500 beach balls on the roof of Radio Disney? Dad. We are going to Brittany's camp, but you and Austin can't come. Who gets to babysit Austin? Who at the last minute has to find some place to print CDs? You got it, Dad. Who funds the whole process but does not get to come to the dance? Dad. Who has made enough money that if we have to take off across the country, we'll be okay? Who hires staff ahead of time so that we could move to Nashville? The idiot that lives with Andrea. And he's got a whole bunch of exclamation points. Dad can be lonely place. Don't laugh. You're going to be there. You'll understand one day. What about Nashville? I invite Scott Sanford out to the lake. We do not talk about Taylor. He wants to see the lake. He sees our jet skis. He wants us to corral ducks for Nashville's duck drop. I agree to corral ducks if he lets Taylor be the talent at the riverfront park for the duck drop. I take my boat, towing 2 jet skis, through the locks, 35 miles to Nashville. I herd and then have to pick up 15,000 little bastard rubber ducks to the point that my arms are falling off while my daughter is singing. That week, the band ran up a $3,000 bill for practice. Fired Jamie, but her performance was good for her and created some buzz. Big effort, yeah. Worth it? Who knows? Did I get to see Taylor's performance? Actually, no, because I was picking up 15,000 ducks out of the river. Not the brightest dad, but she did get a very high profile gig. I connect with Bill Anderson. Taylor does his fanfare show. Good move. He says every once in a while someone comes to Nashville and creates a buzz. Maybe they are a good writer. Maybe they are a good singer. The next girl has created the biggest buzz of anyone I have ever known. Get to know her name because you are going to hear it for 25 years. Bill is signed to Sony ATV and RCA. He was taking up Taylor all over the place. I videotaped it. If I do not videotape, it does not happen. Keep in mind that I helped Bill in 1980 in reading. I sold my $10,000 doc to him for $5,000 last year, knowing full well how much he can help me over the years. I found the pontoon boat he bought, and I was the one that advised him that he should spend the money to clean up his inlet because he can't take his money with him, and where he's going, it would burn, and he would be too busy talking to his friends to write a check. The memories with his grandkids were too important. He has thanked me over and over. Do I talk too much? Better believe it. And it's in your best interest. I call a reporter at the city paper. Explain that I used to be a reporter, stringer for the Associated Press and the Philadelphia Bulletin, and I have a daughter who's a freshman at Hendersonville High School who is hanging in every Abercrombie and Fitch store, and it might be a good article. I may have read them wrong, but both Taylor and Andrea feel that I'm overstepping and should let you handle things. The newspaper article comes out in the morning. WSMV sends their TV crew to the high school in the afternoon. Is Dad at the interview? No. Did the work? Get out of the way. Good for Dan and Taylor. Absolutely. Did it create buzz? Yep. At RCA and everywhere else. How did we get the Bluebird? I stay in touch with Rob, who I think is the one reason she got the Sony deal. They listened to the production, went to the website and listened to Taylor in person, loved that you were her manager. We got to a 3.5 hour writer's night with Rob playing the Bluebird. Painful. It is over. Andrea wants to bolt. I go over and talk to Rob. Rob, when are you going to get Taylor in here? You should get the young writers all together. He thinks it's a great idea. He talks to Amy and the Bluebird is in place. That is important because the newspaper article, the TV coverage, and the appearance of the Bluebird did not hurt for Good Morning America. Sometimes things just happen for the right reasons. How did we find Scott Borchetta? I was told under no uncertain terms not to send any more CDs to Frank Bell by Andrea. That was at song 5, right? Okay, that's next page. Without Frank Bell, Scott Borchetta does not know Taylor, and we do not know him. The end. I have known Frank for longer than I have known Andrea. On certain days, I like Frank more than I like Andrea. Frank would get in a car and drive to Nashville to save my life. He's the only one who was honest with Taylor and challenged her. And I'm not supposed to send tapes, so I sneaked them out. I paid for the computer. I actually paid for your computer. I paid for the production. I have accomplished a great deal in my life, and somehow I'm not smart enough to judge what's going on. Frank knows Jimmy Hammond, who is working with Ashley Gearing. Ashley's career irritates Taylor, and she goes to a new level. Frank tells me that there are 2 people that he wishes we could work with, but they are both at Universal DreamWorks, Jimmy Hammond and Scott Borchetta. He does not think it would be good for Taylor to be at Universal. That was 3 years ago. Frank does a video with Taylor Swift music in his pocket. Sandy Borchetta does the styling for the video. She was Reba's stylist for 15 years, and Frank plays Taylor's music. Most of it produced. I paid for it and have never asked you for a dime, and some rough. He does not give it to her because I asked him not to. She goes home and fires up Scott. But we were tied up by RCA, and Scott is now aware. Jimmy Hammond, who has left Universal to work with Jody Messina, is now aware and blown away by Taylor. He also talks to Scott about her. The whole time we were with RCA, every label promotions person that called on Frank Bell got to listen but not have Taylor's music. He drove them crazy. But I was not, according to Andrea, supposed to send stuff to Frank. The press kit was not going to go to Universal. Frank called and said, send a press kit to Universal. Rendy addresses it to Luke Lewis, who is on record and on Taylor's Good Morning America shot as hating kids. Frank calls And as the press kit is being picked up for delivery, Frank says, "Do not send it to Luke. Send it to Scott Borchetta in promotions." The press kit was headed out the door and Frank called. Scott was not A&R. He was the director of promotions. Now, Jimmy Hammond, who has worked for Scott at DreamWorks, is at Capitol as director of promotions, and he loves us. The Bluebird performance was important for Scott, and maybe I talk too much, but I am not hurting our cause. We would not know Scott Borchetta if I did not have a big mouth. Have one. Proud of it. Wait till you have a daughter. I will get so sick of looking at your soccer pictures, but I will. Dads are dads. But see, I was not supposed to be in contact with Frank, so I had to bite my tongue and do the right thing. When you went to see Scott Borchetta with Taylor, it was the right thing for me not to be there, but I want you to know how it came about that he even got the package. Vent time. Yeah, I have a big mouth. Frank could not believe that after all his work, I was not at the meeting. I told him that it was the right thing, that I trusted him. It would be all good. He continued to work behind the scenes and always will. We will get major airplay in Pittsburgh. I am going to do what I have to do to make you and Taylor successful. I am not going to get a lot of credit, but understand that I am not a contractor or plumber that does not have a clue about how to help the process. Did I have my soul with Brendy and Jamie? You bet. Expensive freaking mistake. But it all happened when it did not matter. I had the money to correct the situation. We learned about leeches and checked references. When the RCA contract was 4 months into negotiations, I did step in. Andrea told me to let you handle it. You did not step in. But there is a point where, as a dad, you know something is not going well, and the contract between you and Taylor has taken so long for no reason at all. The RCA contract was being held up because they were negotiating over tutoring. Yes, I stepped in. What's the holdup? When I found out it was the tutoring, I could not believe it. There is no tutoring in a demo deal. If I had not stepped in, we would still be negotiating and looking stupid. Your contract with us did not come to closure because of Andrea or you. I finally got involved. You thought we were dragging. We could not understand why you were dragging, and someone had to get it done. But I am just the goofy dad who talks too much. Vivian got mad because I was the pushy dad when I was working in your best interest and Taylor. We had a handshake, and that was good enough for me, but someone, and it probably should have been you, needed to push the process. I was told by Andrea to stay away from Arthur and Sony, like I live in an institution and only get out on weekends. I had to quickly stop by Sony as soon as he made the offer. All I did was tell him that I really do not have anything to do with Taylor's career, but if by some chance the attorneys got into a log jam, would he please call me? They did. He did. And I helped to move that along before he lost total patience. He is best friends with Scott Sanford at RCA. I was able to fly under Andrea's radar and get it done. Good for Taylor, you bet. Dan, when you told me about the soul money you lost, I felt bad. But as your financial advisor, I think that you should have been making a hell of a lot more money from Larry. We will always take care of Dan Dimitro. You should have never had to go to your uncle, and you should not have. I can't sugarcoat that. Do not involve family members ever. All there is downside. If you do, you must give them downside guarantees. You will not lose money in DC because I guarantee it. The only way the soul issue will pass is if you pay back your uncle's family. If you need the money, I will lend it to you. You need to spend no more time on this. But let's talk money, okay? Andrea says I cannot send emails to you. I'm not sure what conversation she thinks we have had. and she is mortified that I would ever think to bring up money that we have invested in Taylor and the move. I'm not about money, and Taylor is not, and I know you are not, but you should know what has been spent. There is no money that you spend on your children that you mind, but I wish I had a banker like you and Taylor have. When you say, let's do I Am Every Woman, it was a great idea, but the total production on it was $4,600. Not counting the stuff Andrea may or may not have bought while over in Rob's neighborhood where all the shops are. I had to ask to find out where the song and your face were. Andrea told me not to ask. You were not updating me. I had $7,600 tied up in production, and I'm supposed to not question it? I take my banker out to lunch once a month. Because I paid Rob ahead of production, unlike anyone else in Nashville, when you're called for the outside, he dropped everything and did it. But we pay our bills, and I know how these guys are. We are the only ones that pay ahead. Dumb. No, smart business. I will get burned, but in general, I will always have their attention. Here's the short story. There is in excess of $150,000 of hard dollars spent on travel lessons, production, $29,000, not counting duplication, website, not too many artists come with a website like ours, and I know that it's not the total value. There are a few months that we do not get a $500 bill from Mad Dancer on their website. Ronnie was worse. Original cost was $5,000. Have I complained? No. As a financial planner, it is fair to Austin that Taylor is taking her half of the estate now? Probably not. The move, delightful as it has been, involved moving out of 2 houses and all the crap you have to put up with times 10. The expense has been over $200,000, not counting that I'm being taxed in Pennsylvania and Tennessee. This year, it was more than $31,000. Now, admittedly, some of this was furniture, etc., but without us moving here, Taylor is not where she is today. I changed the phone numbers, I changed the boat registrations, I changed the car registrations, I changed the addresses in all my registrations with Merrill. I commuted back and forth from reading, managed my staff. Do I need to vent every once in a while? Yes. Sold the Shore House because it's so far away. Yes, we made a nice profit. We bought it for $400,000 and we sold it for $2,425,000. But New Jersey put a mansion tax on, and I get to pay them $158,000, and it pushes me into AMT, see Jill, and I lose the 15% capital gains, and I pay another $500,000. Been going there for 52 years. Someday, you'll be a dad. This is a huge commitment. Regret any of this? No. But if I am the one that has to go to Nashville and spend a day in court while Andrea is in Los Angeles, if I'm the one that has to spend a half a day setting up trust for Taylor, if I'm the one that pays the lawyers and pays Andrea's way and takes care of you with $5,000 bonuses, would like some return on my investment. If you're headed to Nashville with one appointment with Warner Brothers, and you call me to call Sony and Vivian, hang on, to call RCA, no problem. But I specifically did not call RCA because I knew how negative he was on kids. I have to stay home because Andrea thinks I might say something stupid. Gosh. I may have a different style than anyone else, but I'm at the top of Merrill because I apparently know how to work relationships. Just wait until you're married and every word you say is analyzed by a wife. It's a thing of beauty. So, who gets called at his office to complain how negative Cliff was to you? Me. Who comes out smelling like a rose? You. Who wanted the appointment? You. How did we get the relationship with Taylor Guitars? because once Taylor bought her first guitar, I called the company. I kept them up to date with what Taylor was doing. We made a special CD for Bob Taylor, and now help Bob Bonus in many ways. He has become a good friend. A huge hook was your management of Taylor and their intrigue as to where that was going, but I made sure that they were in touch with what we are doing. Taylor's appearance in their magazine and in Anaheim helped you and Taylor. You have the luxury of having a family that handles the website, handles taking Taylor to Nashville for writing sessions and sitting in the car for 2 hours, drops everything when you ask us to, and has not burdened you with any financial responsibilities. We are at a critical time. You know it. I know it. I know you've been busy. I need to not get my information through Taylor, who you do a great job of contacting, or Andrea. I can make suggestions that dazzle attorneys and accountants. I may have 1 or 2 ideas that you have not thought about. You should know when Sony is paying Taylor. You should know about the process of setting up the trust, etc., and where it stands, because I cannot pay you until it is totally court approved. Hold on, I gotta get a drink. Okay, 2 final points. When you talk deals, points to Andrea, please understand that I generally do not get told the conversation, and she does not know who our mortgage is with, who does our insurance, who is our accountant, what is in the balance in the checking account, or how much I made last year. I'm not putting her down. She would rather have molten lead poured on her forehead than talk about finances. I'm the one that will get the blame if anything goes wrong. I have some thoughts. Scott Borchetta has never been and will never be the typical record guy. Like you, there is something special about Scott. I know you have been molested by Jive, but you are going to tell me I was right years from now. He lives and dies for his artists. This is not from him, but from people who have had to go up against him. Taylor is the way you can get the yoke off your back about how good you are. My dad would not let me go to work for him because he said if I was successful, they would say it was because of him. And if I failed, they would say it's a shame he could not live up to his father's expectations. Manage Taylor to greatness as a writer, one strategy, as a singer, another strategy, and as an eventual movie star. She has the talent, and people will know how good you are. When we talk on Friday, let's limit it to 10 to 15 minutes. I want to talk to you every week because I am paying the bills. But I do want to talk, but I do not want to tie you up too much. If you have a problem with an email from me, tell me. We need to prepare as a family, and maybe you have laid out a plan with Taylor and Andrea, but they have not communicated it with me. Do we take off as a family, or do we break up the family and Austin and I live here and Taylor and Andrea hit the road? What would be your best guess on what happens the next 2 years? What kind of money are we going to sink in? Now that we can start paying you out of Sony, what is your responsibility? Hold on a minute, I'm going to sneeze. Sorry. Okay. Who is going to be our attorney? I thought Lewitt was a known entity. I will talk tomorrow. If I mention a Jim Reeves investment, please don't discuss it with my daughter, who treated me like I was an idiot for trying to lock up 32% return. Dan does not even know who Jim Reeves is. You're a god. I am just a dumb dad. Don't laugh. You're going to be here. Wait till you are a dad. It's a bizarre land to live in. Finally, if you want to get rid of me, please forward this to Andrea. I will then move out of the country because, like you, in 15 years, if not now, you will live in fear of your wife. And he put about 10,000 exclamation points. One very last thing. This is the last positive email I ever send you. Now, I have to get back to work so I can pay for some event that I won't get to go to. You know I love you, and I will do anything to help you and Taylor. You could have a worse dad to work with and no finances, which of course will happen if you mention this email to Taylor or Andrea, since I am on email restriction to you. Don't laugh. Scott Swift, Dad's Union, number 173.
Okay, so let me get back here. Hold on. Okay, I want to get. So this is, again, that was written to Taylor Swift's old manager, Dan Dimitrov. Dan Dimitrov is suing Taylor Swift and her family for incorrectly compensating him during the early years of Taylor Swift's career. So this email, as you can see in the top, it's in the case, it's marked, has been, it's discovery given over to the court. And it is a public document. The email gives a lot of insight, detail into everything that was calculated and done behind the scenes in order to ignite Taylor's career, right? It also tells us how he feels about his wife, how he feels totally probably belittled, emasculated, and not wanted, just it doesn't feel too good about things, right? So there's that it came out in the lawsuit. Now he goes on to say he is a smart guy. He's a very smart guy. He manages these client accounts, but his wife keeps telling him that, shut up, don't say anything. Make sure that, before you send an email to anyone, it's checked by us. Don't do this, don't do that. He's not allowed to talk to the manager and all of that stuff, right? Now let me look at how this lawsuit and what happened here. Okay, so let's go here. Okay, so Daniel Dimitrov managed Taylor beginning when she was 13 and managed her for 2.5 years. He claims he was paid less than $10,000 for the work that he put in and the connections that he gave the Swifts when he was promised verbally and in writing that he would be protected financially and supported by the Swifts. He claims he arranged vocal lessons, branding, created press kits, got Taylor a national ad campaign with Abercrombie & Fitch, and that he scheduled meetings with every major label who wouldn't meet with her and her parents before she was represented by a respected manager. He got Taylor a development contract with RCA Records, a publishing deal with Sony, a deal with CAA, performing opportunities at Rudy Giuliani's camp and Britney Spears' camp for the performing arts, as well as acting opportunities. The Swifts sought him out in New York City. They had him flying to their home in Nashville on a regular basis to assist in making connections with the record labels there and other performance opportunities. He claims that he introduced Scott Borchetta to the Swifts and began negotiating their deal. He claims the Swifts suggested he take out a life insurance policy with them as the beneficiaries. He claims that Scott Swift asked him to draw up a 9 to 5 year plan for Taylor's future career in the time he worked with them. He claims that Scott Swift asked him about who was going to own Taylor's masters. He claims he was not allowed to attend a meeting with Sony and Scott Swift. They told him they were no longer working with him because they expected he would move to Nashville to manage Taylor, and since he would not do that, they needed to terminate his services. During the drive to the restaurant, the artist informed Mr. Dimitrov that she did not want to terminate her relationship with Mr. Dimitrov, but that her father threatened her, and that she would have to choose between her father and Mr. Dimitrov. The artist continued to explain to Mr. Dimitrov that her father threatened to cut off any economic support related to her career advancement if the artist did not agree to disaffirm the EPMA with Mr. Dimitrov. Andrea Swift confirmed what the artist told Mr. Dimitrov. Both artist and Andrea Swift blame Scott Swift for forcing the termination of Mr. Dimitrov upon them. The unhinged email from Scott Swift can't be described. It's that bad. Let's see what we got here. So he only made $10,000. What? That doesn't even... He claims he was paid less than $10K. What the hell would he work for 2.5 years for less than $10K? That's just ridiculous. Come on. That's ridiculous to even believe that. Let's see what we got here. Okay, Taylor Swift's former manager, Dan Dimitrov, has filed a suit against his former client, claiming that he's owed millions in commissions. Dimitrov originally signed then 14-year-old Taylor Swift in 2004 and claims that he had a key role in developing the young singer's career. According, let's see here. Her parents stipulated a commission of 5 to 10% or more from Swift's career, but he maintains that after facilitating contact with industry figures, including Big Machine CEO Scott Borchetta, Dimitrov was fired to avoid paying the commissions. They delayed and got rid of my client and subsequently signed the deal with Big Machine and kept his commissions for themselves, said the attorney that's representing Dimitrov. Let's see. Legal wrangling between the Swifts and Dimitrov has been quietly underway since 2007, when Dimitrov originally brought a suit against the Swifts and her parents. In March of 2010, a federal judge dismissed most of Dimitrov's claims against Swift, leaving only a complaint of unjust enrichment in place. Both parties in the suit have filed a joint request to the court seeking documents they think will lend credence to their case. In the letter, Dimitrov's attorneys cite a 2004 email from Scott Swift in which he allegedly writes, "Enough with the Dimitrov. You asked me to break both his legs, wrap him in chains, and throw him in the lake. I did." Wow. Swift's camp has dismissed Dimitrov's claims. For him to claim that her success
and her major contracts were procured by him is ludicrous, says Swift's lawyer, Paul Lilkowski of Mitchell, Silberg, and Knapp. According to the Swift's attorney, Dimitrov never followed through with completing paperwork that would have made him eligible for his commissions. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so this case was in the New York Southern District Court with the District Judge Richard J. Sullivan presiding. And let's see what's going on here. Okay, let's see where we are on this case. So, here's the timeline on this case. (2011), where are we? Summons issued as to Taylor Swift, Scott Swift, and Andrea Swift. That was December of 2007. There's a complaint of against them. Waiver of service to be okay. Order. Hold on 1 second, I'm trying to get. Notice a motion to dismiss the complaint, memorandum of law. Okay. That's not what I want to see. I want to see. Notice of declaration. Okay, so up here we have case management, all parties. This is in 2010. I'm just trying to see what the internet citation, an endorsed letter. So what happened to this? Name. (2010), they said Taylor could owe millions to her ex-manager. So what is the... Oh, let me see here. Oh my gosh. I need a drink. Okay, let's see here. Where's your chat? Where's your chat? Here we are. Okay, so what you guys think about the Hi White Angel? Hello, Sassy. Hi, PJ Lee. Thank you for joining us tonight. Hi, Slam. What did you think about that email? Hi, Annie Millions. Hi, little lady.
What do you think about that guy? I mean, I'm sorry. $10,000 for 2.5 years of management? Something's wrong with that picture. How would he even be? I don't know. That is just crazy. That's crazy. So, hold on 1 second. Let me just see something. Okay, so there's more. There's Taylor Swift and Scooter Braun's drama. The end of Taylor Swift's $300 million fight with Scooter Braun. So, a lot of things going on here. Taylor's his former manager has filed the lawsuit. It's underpaid. Let's see. Okay, so they say that Taylor Swift was often portrayed as having a close relationship with her father, Scott. They emphasized the significance of family life and her journey to stardom, that she was born in Reading, Pennsylvania, and grew up, in a supportive environment with her dad, a constant encouraging presence in her life. However, that email, is calling into question what really was going on there. And let's see, he was given written and verbal assurances that he would have financial protection and support from the Swifts. That's how that email made it into court. But I don't know how it's put out here. Let's see. Taylor Swift's fallout with Big Machine Records, Scooter Braun, and Scott Borchetta, everything, right? There's no end in sight for the back and forth drama between Taylor Swift and her former label, Big Machine Records executive Scott Borchetta and Scooter Braun. Borchetta and Braun's wife, Yael Cohen, were among those who publicly rebutted the claims, let's see, that Who caused shortly after the acquisition? She called the deal her worst case scenario. Let me see. Drama eventually simmered down. Taylor released her 7th album in August of 2019. But 3 months later, she exposed Braun and Borchetta after they allegedly tried to block her from performing her old hits at the 2019 American Music Awards, where she was honored as Artist of the Decade. She also claimed on social media that the executives declined the use of her older music or performance footage for a Netflix documentary she had in the works. Big Machine called her post calculated, and they said it does not have the right to keep her from performing live anywhere. However, they did not explicitly address claims that it had barred her from performing her old material. Let's see here. She had a lot of lawsuits going on there. But I just think the letter from her father was an interesting read, right? I don't know if any of you have ever heard that or whatnot, but like I said, that was dedicated to my daughter because she wanted me to do that. Let me just take a quick peek. What else is going on here in this world? Oh no. There's a 4-year-old boy missing from a Huntington Lake campground. Oh no. I hope they find him. Hold on. The Fresno County Sheriff's Office is leading a search for a 4-year-old boy who disappeared from a campground at Huntington Lake in California. The family reported Christian Ramirez missing just before 11 a.m. The sheriff's office said the boy's family searched for him at the Rancheria campground for about an hour before they reported him missing. Search and rescue crews are now making their way through the area and looking for him. That is not good. He was last seen wearing a gray Volcom t-shirt, blue shorts, and gray Nike shoes. Let's see if there's so this is the Fresno County Sheriff's Office. Let's see. Good news. Fresno County Sheriff's Office. All right, let's see. So here we have some more information. hope this little boy is okay. So, search for a missing 4-year-old boy underway 5 hours ago at Huntington Lake. Shortly before 11 a.m. on Thursday, a family at the Rancheria campground reported their 4-year-old boy was missing. They had been searching for him about an hour before they called our department. Christian Ramirez was last seen wearing a gray Volcom brand t-shirt, blue shorts, and gray Nike shoes. We currently have our search and rescue team. If you have any information about Christian's whereabouts, please call 911. 9:30 p.m. Search and rescue team members continue to look for Christian. They will go throughout the entire night, not stopping their search. Are there divers in the water? Was he wearing a life vest, or did he taking off walking? Anyone suspected of kidnapping? Oh my gosh. So sad. Okay. They find him. The 12-year-old that was found strangled in the creek. 2 people were of interest were detained, and I believe another woman found dead at a Texas marina following mother of 4's death and suspicious hanging. Yikes. A New York social worker who was brutally beaten while attempting a home visit in Westchester last month died. Oh, well. I think this is the Texas girl. And there's 2 suspects charged with capital murder in this. Hold on one second. I've got to get something. I've got to get my dye in here. Hold on one second. Let's see if I've got it. Hey, Rockster. Hey, Rocky. Hold on, I'm just looking for something very important. I swear my husband puts things in places to make sure that we need him at every moment. Okay, that's not good. Okay. Where in the world would you put that? I don't know. All right, so let's see. Let's get to this. The Houston police have charged 2 men with capital murder in the death of a 12-year-old girl who was found strangled to death in a creek on Monday. Franklin Jose Peña Ramos, 26, and Johan Jose Rangel Martinez, 21, are the 2 men seen on the surveillance video with Jocelyn Nungare on Sunday night. That's according to the Houston Police Lieutenant Stephen Hope. Jocelyn is believed to have snuck out of her apartment on Sunday night. She was reportedly on the phone with a 13-year-old boyfriend when she was overheard talking to 2 men. Surveillance video from a 7-Eleven store revealed 2 men approaching her. Investigators say they used other video to track down the 2 men from earlier in the evening when they had dinner at a restaurant in Northborough and then left on foot. They met Jocelyn near Kukendall Road and walked with her to that 7-Eleven. From the store, they walked to a bridge on West Rankin Road, where they killed her and left her body in the creek. The 2 men were taken into custody Thursday morning at Canfield Lake Apartments in Northborough Drive, where they shared an apartment. Wow. What was the point of that, guys? Acting Houston Police Chief Larry Satterwhite said the detectives worked around the clock to make the IDs of the men. Their hard work paid off, and they were able to find the video and trace the movements. They were initially identified as persons of interest. Let's see. Jocelyn's mother, Alexis, says she doesn't believe her daughter knew the 2 men before Sunday night, but investigators have not said if they believe the girl and the 2 men were acquainted. Communication and other digital information is among the mountain of information that investigators are poring over. Satterwhite said the U.S. Department of Homeland Security is trying to determine the suspect's immigration status. Terrible. Let's see here. Oh. Okay, so I believe the prosecution is also going to rest, I don't know, is it tomorrow in the Karen Reed case? Let's see. So she was, Jocelyn's mother tracked her cell phone to the creek where her daughter was ultimately found. The creek is located near her home, and the mother said, and I quote, "I'm like angry that they took advantage of her. She was so young. She was 12. You took my baby away. You took her away." Horrible. Very terrible. Hang on 1 second. Just need to see something. Okay, let's see. All right, so my hair vitamins fell. My hair vitamins fell. That's not good. All right, next. Get back to your chat. Call it Swifties or something. I don't think so. That's me again. All right, so hi, Annie Millions. Oh, Garfield shirt. Yeah, right. Anyone watch Real Housewives? The guy on the right looks like Louis Teresa's husband. I don't know. I really don't. Watch that, Annie Millions. Taylor provides herself on her just recently. Apparently she gave... Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, well, if this guy did get $10,000 for managing her for 2.5 years, that's really insane, right? Wouldn't you agree on that one? But come on, why are you going to manage somebody for 2.5 years and you're not even making $10,000? That's just nuts, 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 nuts. Okay. Hold on a minute. Let me think about what else is going on that we wanted to talk about. Oh, Gypsy Rose. Gypsy Rose. Apparently, I told you about the Waffle King debacle, which I think is ridiculous. She's not going to get, the people are trying to call it parole officer or something. She didn't do anything. She was recording herself in the Waffle House. There's a conversation in the background. Big flipping deal. Okay, she can't control. She's in a public space. Next thing is Gypsy just thinking like in this whole thing throughout this, she doesn't want to be judged as what's happened, a murderer. It's like minimizing it. I want to be a social media influencer. I want to be this. I want to be that. And yeah, that's crazy. But there's another person she's having an issue with in social media. I don't know. She thinks that the gist that I got from it is that it's this other TikTok influencer, or I don't know what she is. And somehow people are thinking that Gypsy's boyfriend went into her chat. Was it really him? They're saying it was, and that she contacted him, and she didn't contact him, and she did, and she didn't. And then Gypsy went out and made a TikTok and made some disparaging comments, calling her oppressed panini or something. I mean, it just made her look silly, but I don't know. And you find it hard to believe that he only got $10,000 for 2.5 years. I do not believe that, especially since she recently... Well, I'm just telling you what the lawsuit says, and if it was easily proven otherwise, where's the documentation? I haven't seen it, I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm only the reporter here. Don't shoot the messenger. Okay. All right. Yep, I'm just looking it up. Okay, I don't know. I can't help you there. All right, I'm not a big Swiftie fan. Like I said, my daughter likes her. She is going to Vienna to see her in concert. I wouldn't be doing that, but whatever. But I'm just telling you what's there, telling you what the lawsuit is, and telling you what's in the email. That's it. I didn't write it. It's what it is. It is what it is, what it is, what it is, what it is. Okay? It is. Now let me go to, I am going to, oh no, you're questioning them. Oh, oh, okay, yeah, I don't know, I mean, yeah, someone wants to point me in another direction of something, feel free, I'll look at that. Definitely, not looking for, like to bias it in any way. I mean, I have no skin in the game. Let's put it that way, okay? I've seen her. I've heard her songs. I mean, like I said, my daughter asked me, hey, you should really cover this on your show. All right. Okay, I will. I did. And let's see, I think it's probably, oh my goodness. Sorry, I'm just a little hot right now. It's hot here. What is it? It says that it's 60, what does it say? I was out of town again where it was 102 degrees. Let me tell you. I tell you, listen. Tomorrow, now I don't plan things, just so you know this. I do not plan things. I'm not a planner because so many times when I plan something, it's gone. So, but every day this week, I have been absolutely running. And the days that I thought I wasn't going to run, I've had to run. Like yesterday, I had a medical emergency. I had to run. I had no choice. I was told to get right down. Had to go. That's it. Today, I didn't expect to have to go out of town. I had to go. There was no choice. Had to go there and get something done. Tomorrow, I mean, like, we got home. It was late. Luke said, I'm going to go swimming. It was almost dark. When I go swimming, and you guys know it, I don't like a quick 10-minute swim. I'm in the lake for hours when I go in. So I'm like, that's it. Tomorrow, please. My goal is that tomorrow I am going swimming. And today was my mom's birthday. Today was Roman's birthday. saw a red cardinal fly right across when we were driving today. Let's see. So Jimmy said he saw one this morning. And anyway, I stopped in and saw my son for a couple of quick minutes because we had to run like lunatics. Everywhere we're going, we had to run today. And tomorrow, if it's going to be hot like this, I don't even know how long this heat wave is supposed to last or whatever. I just want to be in the lake. That's it. I don't want to run around. In fact, hold on a minute. I've got to get some ice and something to drink, and I have to get a couple ibuprofen. I woke up with a headache today. I'm getting a headache now. I don't know. It's just so much running around. I'll tell you, I do, hold on a sec. I've got to get another, which one is this? Pink apple and lemon. Let me get some of this with a lot of ice. I need a drink. I need a drink. I've driven more cars this past few weeks. Okay, here we go. Got more. It's been nutty, you know. It's just been like a lot of running around, and it's stuff like only I could do. On the day that I was gonna rest, that's when I had to go in and take care of something medically. And running. I've got so much stuff to get done around here. You don't want to listen to me complain, right? Okay. So, I'll talk to my daughter more about this Taylor Swift stuff. She probably knows a little more. I think we've Taylor Swifted out for tonight. Okay? And let's see. Okay. So, I thought you were talking about little lady. The heat wave is supposed to last a while. You know what? Let me check my weather, Kevin. I'm going to check it right now. Okay, here we go. You know, it says the humidity is 88%. And I'll tell you something is so crazy. Oh, great. All right, let's talk about the weather, okay? Here's the weather. Great. It's the one thing, when I was in where it was 101 degrees the other day and 102, it didn't feel humid to me. It felt very dry. But I don't know. It's saying the humidity is 88%. I don't know. All right. So anyway, so here's what's on tap, okay? Tomorrow is supposed to be 87 and 65, but they're showing rain. They're showing rain Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Now, at one point where we were today, which was somewhere else, there was it looked like there was going to be a bad storm. But it was just a little bit of rain, and that was it. Tuesday is 81. Wednesday is 85. Thursday 76, 78. So it looks like we're going to go hot tomorrow, hot Saturday, hot Sunday. We're going to drop a little bit on Monday, back up on Tuesday, back up on Wednesday, down to 76 on Thursday, Friday.
But I want to see what about this rain, because it says the heat advisory for New York and Pennsylvania remains in effect. Let's see about their heat. The severe weather alert we've got. Heat advisories all week. Heat indexes could reach 100 at times. Yes, definitely. Air quality alert. Okay. Extreme heat. All right, so let's see about this rain. Okay, let's see about the rain. What they're saying about the rain. Scattered thunderstorms tomorrow. All right, well, we'll have to see. Carolyn better get her time in the lake. That's all I have to say. Okay, and then humidity, here's 81%. The wind speed, calm. Dew point, 67 degrees. They're saying it's 73 degrees right now. Heat advisory now until 8 p.m. Saturday. Okay, so here's the details. Friday, showers and thunderstorms likely, mainly after 2 p.m. Mostly sunny with a high near 86. Chance of precipitation 70%. New rainfall amounts between. We do need rain. Let me tell you, we had a farm burned down because they are haying. You know, you make hay when the sun shines. And hay is highly, highly combustible. Thankfully, no animals or people were hurt from what we heard, and that's a blessing. But they were putting hay in to the barns. And, yeah. Happens, yeah. Oh, good. Friday night, showers and thunderstorms likely, mainly before 2 a.m. And then Saturday, a chance of showers and thunderstorms mainly after 8 a.m. Saturday night, chance of showers. Sunday, a chance of showers, thunderstorms. Sunday night, Monday night, chance of showers, thunderstorms. So Tuesday, sunny with a high near 81. Monday, a chance of showers. Okay, blah, 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 blah. So I don't know. Let's just, can't even believe this. I can't believe the summer's going so fast. Oh, I know there's 11 days in June. Okay. There was one other thing I wanted to look at. Hang on a minute. You have to excuse me. Any strange behavior, we're going to blame it on the heat, okay? Okay. I have to look at something here.
shoot. Oh, I was looking for a certain name and I can't remember what I was going to say. All right, let's take a quick look at other things that are noteworthy, okay, before we go on to word cookies. There was a gusty thunderstorms, rumble on the edge of heat. Yeah, that's what, like Jimmy said today when we saw the sky just change. He said, with this intense heat, you don't know what could be, happening. Let's see what's going on in the world. Country music star Mark Chestnut, recovering from emergency quadruple bypass surgery and had to cancel shows. A hiker in California was paralyzed from a spider bite, was rescued after a last-minute phone call. What is this about? I know all of you that are afraid of spiders are going to be like, oh my gosh. Let me see, maybe it was a temporary paralysis. Let's hope so. A last-minute phone call saved the life of a hiker in California's Sierra Nevada mountains. The hiker was paralyzed by a spider bite. Let's see what happened here. This happened on June 12th. At around 6:30 p.m., there was a call from a woman who had been hiking out on the John Muir Trail near the Taboose Pass. Remember that family that went into the hike somewhere and they were all just found dead, even including the dog? The woman was getting some water from a nearby creek when she was bitten by what she thought was a spider. Afterwards, she was unable to feel the skin on her legs and she could not continue to hike. She managed to call for a rescue and relay her coordinates, and then her battery died. The rescue workers assessed the patient, slowly walked down the tricky section of the trail while ensuring her safety with ropes. They transferred her onto the wheeled leader where the trail became stable. Okay, let's see what happened. And then, what else happened to her? Come on. You're not going to leave us hanging like that, are you really? They did not provide any further updates on the hiker's condition. Oh, that was lame. Oh, now Howie. Remember that one on Howie Mandel where he said his wife had been drinking? Now he says she was high on edibles before that fall. Okay. Okay, here's something.
here's something. Okay, we hear Ozempic, right? Okay, there are no magic pills. That's just a given. People are always looking for a magic pill. Exercise, diet, working out the right things. I mean, living a healthy lifestyle. I just don't understand why that's like so hard to understand. Anyway, just like people went on fen and then, oh my gosh, heart damage, right? Ephedra, whatever say that is, just like magic pills. It's not Jack and the Beanstalk. Okay? Magic beans. Got to put some work in. Okay. Anyway, Johann Harry still remembers the strange sensation he felt 2 days after he first injected himself with Ozempic. A doctor had prescribed the drug for weight loss, which is a famous side effect of the type 2 diabetes treatment, back in 2023, when Harry weighed 203 pounds and had a body fat percentage of 32%. His grandfather died of a heart attack at 44, his uncle in his 60s, and his father underwent a quadruple bypass in his 70s. Harry didn't have diabetes, but he was wary of weight loss, drugs that turned out to be a disaster. But he said that, taking Ozempic seemed like a way to lower his own heart disease risk. He noticed the drug effects a couple of days after his first dose. He said, and I quote, "I woke up and I thought, there's something weird. What is it? I couldn't figure out what it was. Then suddenly I realized I had woken up and I wasn't hungry. That had never happened to me." Now, Harry is a journalist who lives in London and Las Vegas. He said, "My appetite was just dramatically dialed down from that point on. I was so much less hungry than I'd been before. I felt very full, very fast." He ultimately lost 42 pounds with Ozempic, and then its sister drug, Wegovy, which has the same active ingredient, semaglutide, and it's specifically approved for weight loss. He set out to find out all that he could about these medications. What they do is they mimic at least one hormone produced by the gut to signal fullness. So he wrote a book on this. His book is called Magic Pill: The Extraordinary Benefits and Disturbing Risks of the New Weight Loss Drugs. He shared insights with the Today Show. His answers, So, let's see what he found out about this. He said, semaglutide has only been used for a bit more than 2 years for people with obesity. We don't know the long-term effects of taking them. There is a concern that maybe they'll have some effect that we just don't know in the long term. So, when he was asked what specifically bothered him, he said, "For myself, the one risk I didn't see coming from this was the psychological effect. That was really strange. For the first 6 months that I was taking the drug, I was getting what I wanted. I was losing loads of weight. My back pain went away. All sorts of good things happened, but I didn't actually feel better in my emotions. If anything, I felt slightly worse. I realized it was my inability to comfort eat and how bad that was making me feel. I went to a KFC in Las Vegas, and I did what I would have done before I was taking Ozempic. I ordered a bucket of fried chicken. I had one of the chicken drumsticks, and I suddenly thought, I can't eat this. He said, on Ozempic, you can't overeat. You'll vomit. I remember a voice in my head going, you're just going to have to feel bad then. So he said there was a bumpy adjustment process, and it can bring to the surface deep underlying emotional reasons why you ate in the first place. And he said he realized how much he was eating to comfort himself. The psychological effects made him want to stop taking it. But one of his friends told me how to find another way to deal with his emotions. He said after he would inject himself, he would feel a bit sick. People's hearts beat faster. It's hard when your heart is racing not to feel anxious because your body's like, something's wrong. That was an unpleasant side effect. He went from eating 3,200 calories a day to 1,800 calories a day and not feeling hungry. Let's see here. Okay, so someone asked, are these drugs really magic like you call them in your book? He said there's 3 ways these drugs could be magic. The first is obvious. They could solve a problem. There are days when it feels like my whole life I've overeaten. Now I inject myself and I don't overeat. Feels like magic. The second way it could be magic is much more disturbing. It could be like a magic trick. It could be that over time, the risks associated with these drugs outweigh the benefits. I do not rule that out. Right, of course, right? Yeah, because how are you going to feel if you find out, guess what? The third way is, I think the most likely, things about the stories of magic, like Aladdin, you find the lamp, you rub it, genie appears, grants your wishes come true, but never quite in the way you expect. The drugs are such a powerful tool that they're going to have huge and unpredictable effects, positive and negative. That's why we need to take a beat and really think about this incredible revolution that's hitting us. Yeah, and what about the gastroparesis and people being, I mean, we had Oprah in the hospital recently, and them saying she was hospitalized for a stomach virus. And then you have people talk about the Ozempic face. And there's just lots. So here's another thing about it. It says people who use weight loss drugs like Ozempic are going to face a problem. What do you do when they run out or they can't take them anymore? They say that lots of people have started taking weight loss drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy. But fewer have asked a key question. What happens if they need to stop taking them? And it's a situation many people are facing. Sometimes they have to stop taking them because they're pregnant, preparing for surgery. In other cases, the drugs become hard to find. And there are different scenarios, especially in young people, where they have to come off the medication, whether they like it or not, said an endocrinologist. So while Wegovy, Ozempic have been touted as quick ways to lose weight and avoid health problems associated with obesity, such as heart problems, the medicines rely on semaglutide, an active ingredient that reduces users' appetites.
Some have even said the widespread use of the drugs could lead to economic growth as poor health imposes significant economic costs. But many people who started using these are not obese and turn to them for their short-term effects. If patients stop taking them, they'll likely gain back much of the weight they lost, especially without careful changes to their diet and exercise. One study realized earlier this month suggested that Ozempic and Wegovy users could minimize that weight gain by gradually weaning themselves off of the drugs instead of quitting suddenly. But that was only a small sample size, indicating more research needs to be done. Let's see here. And then there's fake Ozempic circulating in Europe and the Americas. The World Health Organization warned that fake batches of Ozempic have been circulating amid soaring demand for the medicine. These falsified batches were identified in Brazil and the UK in October of last year and in the US in December, the World Health Organization said on Thursday. Counterfeit products could harm patients' health because they don't contain the correct ingredients, and in some cases they may even contain a different drug, such as insulin, which could be dangerous when taken incorrectly. Fake weight loss drugs are a growing concern as runaway demand for the medicine feeds a ballooning gray market in the United States. Yeah, don't hide. Oh, wow. What is this? Wow. So it says, this is crazy. Car dealerships across the United States halted services after a cyber attack. That's crazy. Let's see what this is about. Thousands of car dealerships were ground to a halt during a normally busy holiday Wednesday by a cyber incident at CDK Global, a major software provider for dealers across the United States. The company shut all systems down and executed extensive testing and consulted with external third-party experts. Wow. So all of that went to us. If anybody went out to buy a car on Wednesday, you probably were SOL. Right? Let me see here. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me go over here. I'm trying to look for something that I want to do here. There's something I wanted to do. Sorry. All right, let me, who's now? See, this is crazy. Oh, I know. Yep, I remember. Okay.
All right, so the judge accused of shooting his wife is going to stand trial for murder. Let's see when that trial's coming up. Orange County Superior Judge Jeffrey Ferguson will stand trial for allegedly murdering his wife, Cheryl Ferguson. Is this the one that was in the car? I think so. And no, I thought her name was Diane, that one. Let's see who this one is. Isn't that sad that you're like, oh, is this that guy that killed his wife in the car? This one. The decision was made after a preliminary hearing before Los Angeles County Superior Court Judge Eleanor J. Hunter on June 20th. Hunter determined there was sufficient evidence for the case to proceed. Ferguson was previously charged with one felony count of murder, one count of felony enhancement of personal use of a firearm, and one count of felony enhancement of discharge of a firearm causing great bodily injury and death. After police discovered his 65-year-old wife dead at their home. Oh, this is another one, because the one I'm thinking of, something happened in a car, and he shot her. According to court records, on the night of Cheryl's death, the two had an alcohol-fueled argument. It began at a restaurant, and it continued for more than an hour when they returned home from dinner. After allegedly pointing his fingers in a manner mimicking a firearm, his wife said, allegedly, and I quote, "Why don't you point a real gun at me?" The court records say he then took out a loaded .40 caliber pistol from his ankle holster and shot her at close range through the center chest. The alleged incident was witnessed by their adult son. Wow. That's some baggage. That's trauma. Who called 911 shortly after 8 p.m. Now, while officers tried to revive Cheryl, Ferguson let off a string of expletives before saying, "What did I do? My son will hate me forever. Can you have my son come over here and punch me in the face? I deserve it. I've got everything I've got coming." Oh, this is a trial I want to see. Okay. So his attorney, T. Edward Wellborn, said, "This is a terrible, tragic event for the whole Ferguson family, including Judge Ferguson." Yeah, how about his wife? Cheryl is and was the love of his life, and he would never do anything intentional to hurt her or cause her harm. What happened that evening was an unfortunate accident, not a murder. Yeah, when you take a gun from the holster and you point it at your wife and shoot it into her chest, okay. Judge Ferguson maintains his innocence and looks forward to the truth coming out. Yeah, okay. So he is currently out on a $1 million bond. He's scheduled to be arraigned on July 5th. So we'll have to watch that one very closely. Wow. Wow. Okay, this is scary. With people traveling around, that a man and his wife were killed at a rest stop in Nebraska. Gary and Mary Weaver were both allegedly stabbed by this suspect, James Thompson Jr., during their vacation to Nebraska. See, this is what I mean. Oh, where are you guys going? Oh, we're going on vacation in Nebraska. Oh, gosh, that sounds great. If someone thinks going to Nebraska is great, and that's good for them. I mean, you know where I want to be, but that's it. That's me. Anyway,
so they thought they were embarking on something good, something great. This is like when kids get hurt, doing something really, really fun. You go to amusement, hurt or killed, right? It's like, it's just, these people are taking off. Who knows? Maybe they're like, oh, their neighbors are like, oh, who are there? They're going off again. We never get time off. We're always working our fingers to the bone here. And then they find out, yeah, they were stabbed to death. So it's like, I don't know. So anyway, they say elderly man and his wife. There's Gary, 72, Mary Weaver, 71. His wife was in critical condition. He was killed. His wife, and I hope she's okay. So now, if that's the case, her husband's killed. She goes home, right? And no husband. She was in critical condition after an attempted robbery on the morning of Wednesday, June 19th. This happened at a Nebraska highway rest stop. Wow. Gary and Mary were both stabbed. This guy is 22 that stabbed him at 7 a.m. on Wednesday at Interstate 80 rest area. Now, you go into this rest area, right? You're not thinking about somebody stabbing you. I know that, you stop in there. Oh, they have something to eat. You have to use the bathroom. Is there a place to get gas? What do we do? Somebody's stabbing you. 7 a.m., no less. He reportedly told the couple, give me the Jeep keys, per a witness. So they even had a witness, okay? In the affidavit. The witness also alleged that Thompson went into the RV and then assaulted Mary outside the vehicle. Okay, so this couple seemed they were traveling in an RV, but then he's saying a Jeep. Well, this is where it gets a little confusing. A Jeep is pulling this RV? Maybe. Okay, maybe it's not. So she's in there, then he goes in there and he assaults her. Additionally, there was a dash cam video from his semi-truck nearby that documents the suspect going inside the RV and making a stabbing motion. Then the suspect went outside the vehicle and was seen stabbing Mary in the side of her head. Oh my gosh. The couple both suffered knife wounds and were found bleeding by the Hall County Sheriff's Office. They were taken via ambulance to Grand Island Hospital. Gary was pronounced dead upon arrival. Mary remains in critical condition with life-threatening injuries. An autopsy for Gary has been ordered. The couple was traveling across Nebraska in their mobile home. They are originally from Eureka, Missouri. Before authorities arrived at the scene, the suspect fled in a vehicle. However, officers were able to get a description. The suspect was chased by the Nebraska State Patrol before he drove his vehicle into the Platte River. State troopers used a police dog to locate him, and he was arrested 30 minutes later. Once he was located, he was taken into the custody at Hall County Jail. He faces numerous charges, including felony murder, attempted murder, first-degree assault, robbery, 2 counts of the use of a deadly weapon to commit a felony, attempted theft by unlawful taking, fleeing in a vehicle to avoid arrest, willful reckless driving, stop sign violation, and failure to signal. On Thursday, June 20th, Judge Art Wetzel ordered Thompson to be held without bond. He has a probable cause hearing scheduled for July 9th, and an investigation is underway. So look at this, 22 years old. Again, what are you doing? What are you doing? What the freak are you doing? I just don't know. Right? There's a couple. Now the wife's in the hospital. She's in critical condition. Her life is changed forever. And I don't know. Which is okay. Covers. Sad stuff. I don't know. I never watched The Sandlot. Did someone watch The Sandlot? This is what I mean about people needing better problem-solving skills, right? Sandlot actor Thomas, is it Geary, in jail after allegedly throwing a dumbbell at a neighbor's Jeep. So he was charged with third-degree assault and battery and malicious injury to personal property on June 2nd in South Carolina. South Carolina again, guys. What's going on? He's the actor best known for his role as Scotty Smalls. Scotty Smalls, not to be confused with Scott Smalley, right? Stuart Smalley. In 1993's The Sandlot, was arrested on June 2nd in Horry County, South Carolina. Oh my gosh, that's where Letitia was arrested, and then we had other people. The 43-year-old actor was charged with third-degree assault and battery, malicious injury. Sheriff's Department online records say he was released from jail on June 3rd, day before my birthday, guys. It's my birthday month, after posting a bond totaling $1,000. People, let's see what happened. So why did he do this? Let's see. The incident report indicates officers answered a disturbance call, and they encountered Thomas and a neighbor. The latter reported that Thomas had trespassed onto his property and damaged a Jeep's windshield by using a 35-pound dumbbell weight. That was dumb. That sucks, man. I'll pay you back. I'm sorry. I'm going to get you back, said Thomas, per the police report. The neighbor also claimed to the officer that the actor approached his door, ringing the doorbell while showing a knife. I did it, Thomas admitted to the officer. I'm sorry. He kept repeating, I'm sorry, to the neighbor. He was then arrested and transported to J. Reuben Long Detention Center. A TMZ obtained a video, and it shows Thomas appearing to throw a dumbbell onto the windshield of a white Jeep and cracked its glass. In another video clip taken from a doorbell camera, he seemingly raises a knife over his head after ringing the doorbell. Wow. Now, this is not his first rodeo with the law. He was arrested in 2013 at an airport in Houston for allegedly headbutting a police officer after he was told he was too intoxicated to board a plane. His career kicked off in 1993, A Place to Be Loved, and The Sandlot. He had appearances in Black Hawk Down, Mystic River, Black Irish, and The Revenant. In 2018, when he was in Trenton, New Jersey, he said he has 3 kids and works overnight at Whole Foods. He said, if I'm lucky enough to act, I still act. So hold on a minute.
He said he has 3 kids and I work overnight at a Whole Foods. If I'm lucky enough to act, I still act. Wow. Okay. Alrighty then. Okay, everybody. Can I answer Auntie Million's question? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were asking Auntie Millions that question. All right. So, my point of view. You mean the one that we showed the other night? Well, I don't think she's. I think there's a lot wrong there, Auntie Millions, with Jennifer Soto. She lied. She obviously lied when in that when she first said that she was in the car with him when he dropped her off and all that stuff. So why did she lie? That's my first problem. Why did she lie? Why did the stuff that came out in those documents where she was saying it was okay and her daughter was sharing a bed with her boyfriend, not the daughter's boyfriend, the mother's boyfriend? There's a lot wrong there, I see, Annie Millions. I have a lot of just red flags as far as you can see. I don't understand that at all. I don't understand it at all. Not one bit. And how, if, let's just say she didn't know this and that about, why hasn't she come forward? Why, you would be so enraged as a mother, right? To find out, let's say, you had no knowledge of what this guy was doing to your daughter, and he's got videos of it in his phone, and it's disgusting, and it's when she was younger and he was asking her to do things. It's disgusting. Okay? And as a mother, like, would you stand by that guy? And you're saying you have no knowledge of what he did, but now you know. Now these documents are out. These video, I mean, come on. I don't know. That, you know what I'm saying, Annie Millions? Are you listening to me, Annie Millions? Annie Millions, are you listening? If you are, then come on home. Calling Auntie Millions to the chat. Are you listening to me, Annie Millions? Okay. Don't worry about it. I don't take drugs. It just might appear that way because of the heat. Okay. So, what else? What else? What else? What else? I think it's time to do the word cookies. Do you think so? I think so. You think so? I think so. Yeah. Okay. I think so. Oh my gosh. And Kevin, I apologize that my life has been so crazy, but I really hope we can get some time. I'm going to float on down and swim on down to your house tomorrow, and I don't know. I'll swim on down there. Hopefully. And if there's a thunderstorm and I just have to get out, I'll just have to get out. I'll have to see. And I didn't get a chance to get down there today. Life's been crazy. It's been nuts.
Yeah, I have to, unless, yeah, it rains. Well, yeah. I'm gonna really try to do it before it rains. It's too hot. I know Luke brought you down those water lounges. All right, let's see here. We all get that for free? All right. No, we don't need that. Okay. And back on the board again. Okay. Dude, no. This is how we unwind over here, Dad. No. Do 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 do. There's no dude. A deuce, yeah. What did you say? Cued. Yay, okay. Yay, okay. That's great. Doing good. Oh. That's what I did on my own. Let's see what you guys got. Pair prima. Prima donna. What do you think you are? A prima donna? Army? I know Army. Okay, Army is there. Area I already have. Pair I already have. Prim I already have. Okay, primary. That's your primary duty. Okay, we have primary. Imp. What about an imp? What about an arm? An arm, so we know it begins with an A. We know that it begins with an A. Amp. I don't know. Let me see. P. R. Maybe P or R. Oh, pry. Pry. Okay, then we've got RIP, which could be just, how about yip? Oopsie, that doesn't work. Yip. Nope. How about yap? Nope. Okay, how about R. Oh, yam. Okay, let's see now. So we have Mary. Mary, 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 quite contrary. What's the other one now? I'm looking at you guys, but you don't have it yet. You gotta get this last one. Prima. I tried prima. Prima. I don't know. Parry? Yay! Okay, we're creme brulee, but we're gonna go to bed. We're tired. Got to get out of this place. Got to go to sleep. Thank you guys so much for showing up. And hi, Emmy. How are you? Hello, Margot. What do you call Emmy? What's Emmy's name? Maribel? I forget. Okay. But appreciate it, guys. See you tomorrow. Love you guys. God bless. Hi, little lady. See you later. Little lady, I got your stuff. I have had a week of I've been so many places in my life and time. I feel like Karen Carpenter singing a Karen Carpenter song, even though I can't sing like Karen Carpenter. I feel like singing her songs. I do relate to a lot of her songs. I've been so many places this week, and it's just been crazy. Anyway, rainy days and Mondays don't always get me down. I don't always feel blue when I talk to myself. I don't know. Sitting at the top of the world some days. But anyway, I'm Murder of Crows. How are you? I'm what you call heat drunk. And I better just get off here before I embarrass myself any more than I already have. But you guys all love me, so it's good. What was that thing that they used to put in the yearbook? Something, those who knew me well, and those who didn't can go to... But there was something before that. They said that in the yearbook. People used to write that. I don't know. I can't remember. But all I do know is that I better probably just finish this ice cold seltzer and just, I don't know, go to sleep, I guess. All right, everybody. God bless. Prayers. We'll see you tomorrow. Everybody be good. What do they say? If you can't be good, be careful. That sounds horrible. I don't want to give somebody that advice. No, I would never want to give somebody that advice. Well, you told me. No. Don't. And I'm going to say something. And my catchline is going to be, murder is not the answer. Murder is not going to solve your problems. It's just going to add more. Remember, folks, murder is not the answer. It won't take away problems from your life. It will leave you with a whole new set of problems. Okay? Be good. God bless. Prayers for everyone that needs them, and we'll see you tomorrow. Love you guys. Bye. Bye now.